Hi guys, this is GSMDome.com and I'm here with the ASUS Zenfone Max in the ZC550KL version. It's a battery phone. It's a phablet that stands out to its 5000 mAh battery that's below the hood. Last year we tested a bunch of Zenfones, the Zenfone 2, Zenfone Laser and Zenfone Selfie, and now it's the turn of the ASUS Zenfone Max, just launched, and as far as I know, its price tag is $147 at least on the Indian market, which is very affordable. Okay, so let's get to the design first. So we're dealing here with quite a behemoth, a model that measures 10.55 millimeters in thickness and weighs 202 grams. It comes in black or white, and in spite of those measurements, it's actually lighter than the Jony Marathon M5, another battery phone. Well, that one weighs 212 grams, this one 202 grams. Of course, that model is thinner at 8.5 millimeters. Other than that, it's a sturdy and massive device, but it doesn't feel very heavy in the user's hand. It's well balanced, the weight. We got a leather imitation texture at the back side. Of course, it's a plastic material, not leather. We got good grip, and of course, it's a phablet and it's big, so one-hand usage is pretty much out of the question because you cannot reach all the areas of the screen with one single hand. Other than that, the front side design is typical for a Zenfone handset, and this time we have a plastic frame right here that's still pretty solid. So let's analyze all sides of the handset. Up front we got earpiece, front camera, there's the notification light right here, of course sensors, 3 capacitive buttons, and a screen with I would say big bezels, but frankly speaking, for this price tag I would call them mid-level. At the back, main camera with a microphone above it, the dual LED flash here, and the laser autofocus mechanism right next to it. Here you can find the speaker, and you can also remove this back cover. As usual for a Zenfone, not very easy to do, easier said than done. Okay, here we go. The thing about the Zenfones is that if you do this a couple of times, eventually it gets looser and it's easier to remove. So below the hood you can see that the speaker is actually much smaller than its special cutouts. We have here the 2 SIM slots and the micro SD card slot right here. Let's put this back with its leather imitation and proceed with the analysis of the sides. So at the top we got the audio jack, while at the bottom we find the microphone and the micro USB port. On the left side, absolutely nothing, and one thing you probably noticed is the lack of volume buttons here. Usually Zenfones came with back volume buttons. This one has the volume buttons here and also the power button here instead of at the top. So with the buttons here, I have to say that they're pretty good when it comes to feedback. They respond well to my presses, they're easy to find by placing your finger here, so no problems whatsoever. Overall, a pretty well balanced handset, although very massive and relying on plastic very much, but still it remains sturdy. Now on the hardware side of things, we're being treated to a 5.5-inch IPS screen with a 720p resolution, and inside the phone you'll be able to find a quad-core Snapdragon 410 processor clocked at 1.2 GHz. We also get 2 GB of LPDDR3 RAM and the Adreno 306 GPU plus 16 GB of storage and a microSD card slot that supports up to 64 GB extra storage. Of course, there's also storage in the cloud via ASUS Web Storage, 5 GB worth of it. We continue the specs list with a 13 megapixel back camera, 5 megapixel front shooter, and when it comes to connectivity, well, we're getting Wi-Fi 802.11 BGN, there's micro USB, Bluetooth 4.0, dual micro SIM card slots, 4G LTE category 4, which means 150 Mbps download speed, and then we have Wi-Fi Direct, GPS and GLONASS. There are also sensors here, obviously. We got accelerometer, e-compass, proximity sensor, ambient light sensor and hall sensor. So overall the hardware is pretty good for a handset priced below 150 bucks. The key, of course, is the battery. It's a lithium polymer 5000 mAh unit. On paper should provide us with 914 hours of standby or 37.63 hours of talk time, but let's see how it fared in our tests. So as usual, our test involves a loop of a video file, an HD video file looped in playback with Wi-Fi on and brightness at 200 lux units. And in this method, we managed to achieve 19 hours and 35 minutes with this handset. So 19 hours and 35 minutes, which is simply huge. Still, it's below the Jony Marathon M5 that scores 22 hours and 24 minutes, but not by very much. It's still excellent, 19 hours and 35 minutes. It beats a ton of phones. It beats the Nokia Lumia 1520 with its 17 hours, the iPhone 6s Plus with its 15 hours and 8 minutes, the AllView P6 Energy with its 12 hours and 9 minutes. Other than that, we also did a PC Mark test, also for the sake of battery testing, and this is also very impressive. 16 hours and 24 minutes. It simulates continuous usage, and this is a fantastic result because it beats every other phone we ever tested. It beats the Jony Marathon M5 with its 16 hours and 20 minutes, the AllView P6 Energy with its 11 hours and 24 minutes, and even the ASUS Zenfone 2 Laser with its 8 hours and 16 minutes. Of course, some sacrifices had to be made, so the charging is kind of long, 4 hours and 40 minutes. It's probably one of the longest charges any smartphone we tested ever had, but it's well worth it. It's still below the Philips Xenium i908 that charged in 4 hours and 35 minutes, so faster than this one. Of course, other phones with big batteries that charge faster are the AllView P6 Energy, charges in 4 hours, and the Lumia 640 XL LT, 4 hours as well. As if the battery wasn't enough, there are also special power saving settings. Here's the battery area, and here's the power management area. Okay, so we entered power saver and we got the following modes. There's performance with the highest CPU performance and high brightness, normal with adjustments made to the CPU performance and brightness, power saving that disables the networks when the device is asleep, super saving that keeps the phone, SMS and alarm awake, disables the networks, and customized, speaks for itself. It lets you tweak the experience, choose between high performance or smart CPU, choose between high or smart brightness, turn on or off the network, and extend standby to save battery life, affecting the notifications of the apps. I would prefer normal for now. Okay, other than that, we have smart switch that allows you to switch to a certain power saving mode at a certain percentage, or schedule that switch. And that's pretty much it. Those are the settings that can trigger power saving. Then there's the auto start manager that allows you to choose which apps are permitted to start or not automatically and extend battery life. Overall, the conclusion regarding the battery is that it's groundbreaking, it's excellent, and aside from the long charge, it's basically perfect. Now we move over to the acoustics with no headphones here because our test unit wasn't bundled with headphones. We have the speaker here. It's much smaller in reality as you saw before. And now let's check out the music app. If you ever seen a Zenfone handset, well, you've seen them all when it comes to the Zen UI interface. This is it, and let's go straight to the settings. We got sleep timer, we got settings here with the option to change the color theme, and an equalizer that lets you fine-tune the audio settings like this. So we got movie, music, gaming and vocal, as well as smart, plus these tweaks. Or we can tweak the volume, bass and treble, also enhance dialogue, and we can customize 5 frequencies with dedicated sliders. Okay, that's the default equalizer. Audio Wizard can also be set to the Android equalizer, which is the stock one, but I prefer the one that ASUS provides. Okay, now it's time to actually listen to some tunes. Here we go. And now the conclusions. The sound is pretty loud, there is a bit of distortion at the maximum volume, not much bass, the guitar is well heard, and luckily there's no muffling. So so you won't lose volume if you place the handset on a flat surface, which is always a good thing. Once again, we didn't get headphones with this test unit, but if we did, we would have shown you the FM radio app, which usually is fine on ASUS devices. Go to the gallery, and I'm going to show you the decibel meter test. As usual, we did that, and we achieved 87 decibels at the back of the phone and 86.6 decibel at the front of the phone. This means we surpassed the LG AKA with its 86.4 decibels, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 with its 85.6 decibels, and the ASUS Zenfone Selfie with its 85.5 decibels. We scored below the Samsung Galaxy S6 with its 89 decibels, the ASUS Zenfone 2 with its 89.1 decibels, and the OnePlus One with its impressive 90.5 decibels. And if you want to further tweak the experience, we got a dedicated audio wizard app that takes you to movie, music, gaming, vocal, and smart. Let's hear them one by one. So here we go. As you notice, there is a huge decrease in volume once the option is turned off, so overall I have to say I'm reasonably happy with the multimedia aspect of the phone, minus the distortion part. Now it's time to discuss the screen. Well, what we're dealing with here is a 5.5-inch display. It's an IPS LCD with a resolution of 1280 over 720 pixels. It has Gorilla Glass 4 protection, an anti-fingerprint layer, and 178-degree view angles. It also uses full lamination technology, and it relies on a sharp technology panel, plus it offers 267 ppi density. The gallery will be used as the video player here, and this is the standard clip we use. Turn down the volume a bit and enjoy the playback. So a bright screen with a pretty crisp image, vivid colors but no oversaturation luckily. The contrast was surprisingly good. I actually got to use the handset in sunlight and had no problems, and the view angles were also pretty good. It comes with RGB striped pixels and follows a series of less fortunate Zenfones that let us down in 2015. They had pretty low brightnesses, but not this one. So these are the pixels, RGB stripe under the microscope, and this is the lux meter we used and achieved 304 lux units. I would have to say that this is an okay value, especially compared to the last year model. So we beat the ASUS Zenfone Selfie with its 285 lux, the ASUS Zenfone 2 Laser with its 274 lux, and the LG G Flex 2 Even with its 266 lux. We scored below the ASUS Zenfone 2 with its 323 lux, the Huawei P8 346 lux, and the AllView P8 Energy with 471 lux. Of course, the screen gets its very own settings, found right here. So we got brightness level with automatic included, font style, font size, wallpaper, sleep, LED indicator, daydream, and a screen color mode that includes color temperature, this one here with this slider, balance, these are the modes, blue light filter also with a slider, vivid, and customized with 2 extra sliders for hue and saturation. So overall a good screen, not much to object here. We like the fact that the brightness has improved compared to the other models. We got wide viewing angles, vivid colors as you